Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Cobra Trooper.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Okay, so let's just take 10 seconds here to take a quick look at the packaging. We do have the Exquisite Mini G.I. Joe Cobra Trooper with a nice rendering of the figure here, the character. I will say on the Viper video or in the Viper packaging, it did not say Exquisite Mini here. I think maybe on the Lady J it did. I'm not sure why they put that there and sometimes they don't. Doesn't really matter, but I did notice that that was different than the last one we opened up. And go to the back here, we can see there's a couple glamour shots of the figure. He looks pretty cool. Normal legalese. I do like this packaging, very traditional G.I. Joe packaging at this scale. This is how I want it. This is how I got it. Let's get him open. Okay, guys, we've got the Hiya Toys Cobra Trooper out of packaging. Wow, what a great figure, guys. Really, really good. I can say right off the bat, I like this a lot more than the Viper. This is the only the second figure that I've army built in the Hiya Toys space. Besides that Viper, I will leave a link to that Viper video here if you haven't seen it. But this guy, I think, is much, much better. His look, I like the accessories, just a solid figure in a year of a lot of good army builders. This one still stands out as one of the best ones. Let's go ahead and look at his accessories really quick, then we'll get more to the figure. It does come with the complimentary stand that we've seen here before, one peg, the two H or I clips to connect them. Came with an extra set of hands. Got two trigger finger left and rights. He does come with two gripping hands already on. He's got these two rifles here. They both do have pegs so that he can wear these figures on his back. See there, and they've got a really nice metallic wash over them. I think you can see that camera. It's like a nice gunmetal silver. This one looks a little bit darker than this one. I'm glad too that on this figure, they actually gave you one with a real handle there. This one, probably have to clip it like I did with the Viper in order to get it onto his hand easily without struggling. But these look pretty good. No drilled barrels. These are very futuristic type laser rifles that I guess you could dub as futuristic real world military. They do seem to have like little ammunition clips here, meaning you do have to reload them rather than just being like laser blasters from Star Wars that fire infinitely. But very cool, very nice. He also came with accessories on that or on him on his person. One is this helmet here that just pops right off and on. It's a very nice helmet. Fits really well. It's nice and snug. It's really good. He also came with two pistols, with two workable holsters. I believe I've seen this pistol before. Can't remember who it was with, but they're identical. Has a nice little red trigger, silver on the top, black on the bottom. Fits in the holsters nice. Here's the other one. Same exact gun. It's got a left and a right. He also comes with this knife here in the back. Very cool knife. Again, little red highlights in the handle there. Black, black, black handle with a red grip. You can see a little bit more there. It's a little hard to see it because it is pretty small. And then a silver blade. It's in the scabbard on his back. Very nice. So lots of weapons. Two pistols, two rifles, a knife, removable helmet. Very cool. I think he's got just enough to add some variation, how you want to arm him up. Let's talk about the figure now. Excellent figure. Seems like we've gotten standard articulation on this guy. I was checking for that thigh swivel there. So let's do it real quick. We've got a ball jointed head. We've got butterfly shoulders. And they work pretty good. They're not acid rain butterflies. but you can see get a pretty good out more than you get in, but they definitely work. They are on ball joints. Does have a bicep swivel, double hinge at the elbow, and then he's got the Hiya Toys ball hinged wrists. Seems to have a very tight diaphragm ball joint. Don't get a lot out of it. I think, not sure why. It's just really stiff. He does bend at the waist. He does have a diaphragm crunch, but it's just not a lot there. I think it's from the overlay from his secondary. He does have ball jointed hips. That thigh swivel I mentioned earlier. Drop down hip too. Not a lot of drop there, but it is there. Double hinge at the knee and a rocker pivot ankle. It is also quite stiff. Make sure I don't break that. Doesn't really hinge up and down. And this piece on the top is a separate piece, so it shouldn't hinder it too much, but it does, and it's just very, very stiff. I probably need to warm that up before I try to get any more out of it. So great figure, guys. Like I said, I think he's better than the Viper. Um, I picked up 5 of these guys, one to keep mint on card, 4 to open. And that 5 I got, I think were from Cool Toys. I'm still waiting on 7 more, which I picked up from LT Cave, which I haven't even got notification that they're shipping yet. So I was going to end up with 12 of these, 11 to open. I've since scaled it back to 10. That's why the Viper only had 10, 9 to open, 1 to keep mint on card. But I think this guy is far superior. He just looks better. I I've always had a fondness for this trooper, the blue trooper. Him and I think it wasn't it the commander? One had a red Cobra symbol, one had like a gray symbol. But I always kind of used them interchangeably. Always loved this outfit, and this is a really nice paint job on him. You can see it's like a blue, almost like tiger striping in black over the blue. Red symbol there, highlights of red here in the armor, back of the bicep here, again in sort of the shin guards. So good paint apps, great sculpt. I think he's really this really brings up the Cobra Trooper from what we've had in the past, which I do have a few. I'll bring those out here in a second. But I definitely think this is the best Cobra Trooper at the scale ever. I think I'm pretty confident in saying that. Mine is just a little stiff at that diaphragm. I probably need a good warm water bath before I can move those ankles too much anymore. And that diaphragm uh, joint there, he is really stiff, but he still has a really good range of motion. You can see here he is without the mask, or without the helmet, I should say. Very cool. This face piece does not come off. This is solid head here. Really well done. One of my favorites of this line, I think. This guy's going to look great with Cobra Commander and Destro, Major Blood, some of the other characters that we've got. All right, let's compare them really quick to a couple other versions of the Cobra Trooper that I have in my collection. All right, I went digging through the collection and I just grabbed as many as I saw. I think I might have more than this. I definitely have army built all of these different versions. Let's start here with kind of some of the newest ones. Um, Again, I can't remember. It must be the red symbol is the trooper and the other one is the commander. Um, but this is basically it. This was the last version that Walmart did. This one, I just to off make variation, I did get some Marauders armor. I've armed them all up with Marauders AKs. This one has a Marauders beret, and it's basically the same buck. So this one must be the red underneath the armor, just like him. You can see the scale's right. I did army build all of these guys. I probably have 10 or 12 of these. Probably like five with berets, six or seven without. Um, I always forget what this one, if it must be Renegades. This was the Cobra Trooper version in Renegades, the cartoon. Pretty good figure. Again, Army built this one. Let's see, scales a little small, 375. This one, Retaliation. I get the R's mixed up, right? There's Rise of Cobra, there's Renegades, there's Retaliation. Um, but this is also a version of Cobra Trooper. I think I have like six or seven of these guys. They're pretty cool. At the time, they were awesome. All of these versions now, they all do seem a bit dated with this new guy. Um, and their legs always seem to kind of give out. They get real loose in the leg. So there's that one. And then these are the 25th anniversary ones that I have. I can't remember. It must be that's the trooper, that's the officer. Just like those two, same buck, essentially just a different emblem color on the chest. Very dated now, these guys. These are 375 inch. And then there was this version. I can't remember what set this one came in. He's the only one I have with these colors, but he is essentially just a Cobra Trooper, 25th anniversary. So this is definitely the Hiya is definitely the one to get rather than going back and collecting any of these. Although I do think this guy is good, but loose in the leg. If you find him, loose, or opened, unopened, even he's a bit dated. This one's really good too. Again, bit dated. These Walmart ones seem to be pretty easy to find, and they're pretty good figures. But this new guy, he's just a step above. And for the last, I wanted to bring this guy in. This is a custom I made using Marauders figures, and he is kind of one of the squad leaders of my Cobra Troopers. And I think he's still going to work with these Hiya guys. You can see the scales right. Very cool. He is just a Marauder's buck, Marauder's armor, Marauder's weapons, Marauder's head. Just a Marauder's custom that I made as a Cobra Trooper commander, squad leader. So those are some of the versions of Cobra Troopers I have. Again, I've army built all of these. Not this guy; he's a singular character, but I've army built all these. I think I'll probably be getting rid of or trading, selling these 25th anniversary ones. I think they finally have run their lifespan, but the rest of these I am going to keep. Um, but I think it's time to retire the 25th anniversary ones. But this Hiya Trooper, very, very cool. Okay, and a few really quick size comparisons so you can see the scale on this guy. He is a true 118. Here is a Star Wars Vintage Collection Stormtrooper. We've got the Joy Toy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Foot Soldier, one of them. I pulled out this guy because for some reason I think the colors kind of go together and he looks like he could be a Cobra operative. And that is the Necromancer from Grindhouse Toys. Really like this figure. He is on a Eagle Force buck. So he is sort of like a Joe, right? He's sort of like a G.I. Joe. And get him to stand. Had him riding a howler for a while, so his pose has not moved in quite a while. See if I can get him to stand here. I don't know if I can. Oh, I knocked him over. Let's move these guys back a little. I did have them kind of close, didn't I? And I did throw the two rifles on him just to kind of show how it looks there when he's carrying all of his weapons. As you can see, there's the Necromancer. I think the blues they're off a little bit, but I think it kind of works. Here is the Acid Rain World Aid Angel. Again, 118. So far, all of these are 118 except for the Stormtrooper here, which he is smaller. He should be. And then finally, last size comparison, we've got, I'm going to say, Wave 2 of the Boris Ping Girls. I did do a video on. And she is also 118. So you can see he fits right in. Fits right in with all the lines that we've been collecting. Maybe a little big for the Star Wars guys, but still think it works, especially with his weapons. and his armor, his styling, his aesthetic, how he looks. So that's quick size comparison. Let me give you my final thoughts. All right, guys. So in conclusion, this is a pickup, one of the better army builders of the year in 118 375-inch scale. I think the design and the articulation really brings him up to 2025 standards. Not one to pass up on. I definitely like him a lot more than the Viper. They have set for pre-order. Hiya has lots of different army builders, I think, at this point. Um, the Range Viper, Crimson Guard Trooper. But so far, they've only fulfilled two, this one and the Viper. And I definitely think this one is better than the Viper. And, I'm going to replace a lot of my 25th anniversary. I think I can finally part ways with them and replace them with this guy. I will say too that because of his look and his weapons, there's no reason why this guy can't just be in your science fiction world rather than G.I. Joe. He could battle the Foot Clan, your Joy Toy Foot Clan. He could battle your Covenant, Halo forces. Um, why not battle stormtroopers? I think he fits in with all those other lines. Doesn't necessarily have to just be G.I. Joe. If you just want a cool army builder at this scale, this is one to get. So that's the video, guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.